Hello and welcome to Campus and Community Conversations with Micah and Noel. Today we are joined by the president of the University of West Georgia, Dr. Brendan Kelly. How are you today, Dr. Kelly?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm pretty good. All right, so we're just going to jump right into these questions. Okay?
Great.
So you have been in your position for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And a lot of your accomplishments are linked to something called the University Strategic Plan. So for those who are not aware, what is the University Strategic Plan?
That's a great question. One, that when you start a leadership position like this one of the first things that people have expectations for is, what are we going to do next? And that comes at a university through a planning process. So our strategic plan is called Becoming, UWG. And that was the product of a planning process that we undertook shortly after I arrived. Now, bear in mind, when I arrived as president, we were in the midst of COVID-19.
We were.
I mean, the first day I started was a couple days after we had closed down. So I started as president. We didn't have employees on campus. We didn't have students on campus. So you're basically president of nothing, and that gives you a chance to start planning for things.
Right.
And one of the obligations that I have was to endeavor into that process. So we engaged a steering team right away, not long after I got here, because I thought if COVID-19 had changed the world, then everything's changed, which means whatever we had planned for was going to need to be different. We got a steering team of about 18. We engaged about 1,300 people, including an awful lot of students. And over the course of months, developed a strategic plan that really focused the university on what are we going to lean into for the next 5 years that's going to put UWG in the position by 2026 to not only survive but thrive in the 21st century in a vastly changed higher education market.
Yeah, so to my understanding, this is a 5-year plan, correct?
Any good strategic plan isn't going to look too far out.
Right.
So it has implications on what I would call a decadal basis, right? So you can look out 10 years, 15, 20, but we have to focus on what we can control. We can control the next 5, and then at that point, it's really important for us to reassess as a university and as a community and say, how have we changed? How have we been transformed? And how has the world changed? And now, what do we need to do next to meet it?
All right. So now that we have a basic understanding of what this plan is, can you walk us through how this plan has helped advance the university so far? So like a big picture, kind of.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. One of the great things about a strategic plan is that you can mark time through accomplishments. And we've done a lot. I mean, if you actually just think about the School of Communication, Film, and Media is an outcome of the strategic plan, because one of the key pillars in the strategic plan is relevance, making certain that we are relevant to industry, communities, to students in a changing time where there are technological advances and advancements in the way human beings interact with their communities. We focused in on leaning into things like entrepreneurship, on building out our expectation setting for students who came to the university and said, I'm looking forward to being leveled up and transformed by my university education, but I also want that to feed into starting my own business, into innovation. We have launched a series of new degree programs, all in partnership with industry. We have a new baccalaureate degree in Nexus in Computing, which was built with 20 tech companies throughout the Atlanta metropolitan area, a new Nexus degree in Supply Chain Logistics, a master's degree in Digital and Social Media Communication, master's degree in Integrative Wellness, or Health and Wellness, along with 2 new master's degree in the Richards College Business that both focus on data analytics. Now, each of those are high demand areas, and it's up to the University of West Georgia to make certain that we are relevant for the state of Georgia and for the growing economy here for years to come. So those are a few examples of where we've been able to really make an impact in a short period of time.
Yes, and with the development of these new programs, also the being of a University of West Georgia student is changing. So can you please explain how the I Am West campaign, which is a campaign we've launched recently in order to get new students to come in, how does it fit within the 3 pillars?
Yeah, so it's a great question. The 3 pillars are really about relevance, competitiveness, and placemaking. I Am West is a representative of both competitiveness and placemaking, in my view. Place, because you can go back to the earliest days of West Georgia College, and that term West is something people used in casual conversation. That's been an emblem that's always been with us. And current students refer to the university as West.
Yes,
right?
like go West.
That's right.
Dine West.
Whatever it is.
Eat West.
And they say, well, where do you go to? Which university do you attend? Oh, I'm West, right? And I go, okay, so we have to own that as part of who we are as a place. But from a competitiveness standpoint, it allowed us to reframe our narrative in a post-COVID environment. So I Am West focuses in on the student experience and the products that we produce for students. When I say products, I mean you should be able to walk away from your university experience at the undergraduate level, master's, specialist, or doctoral, because we, bear in mind, we serve almost 4,000 graduate students. And I Am West should be an emblem that is representative of the knowledge you gained, the skills, the experiences that advanced you as a human being and as a professional. One of the key statements that's made at the beginning of our new commercial for I Am West is, I don't need a university to help me find myself, I need a university to help me be myself. And from my vantage point, that embraces the consciousness of the students we're in service to now, which are much more confident, much more purposeful, intentional about who they are and what they would like to become. And our job is to play a role in them becoming those things.
So can we outline some of the specific accomplishments that, has happened during this plan?
Oh, absolutely. I'd be happy to. I mean, one, you see, just in the area of competitiveness, us advancing in terms of excellence. I mean, bear in mind, we've made 2 NCAA appearances in men's basketball. We've won our 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th national championships in cheerleading. We named a integrative or a chief wellness officer. We're one of 5 universities in the United States that's named a chief wellness officer. We've put mental health and physical health at the forefront of what being part of this university community is. Our economic impact continues to climb. We've advanced esports. In fact, in the building we're in right now, we have an advanced varsity esports program with shoutcasting on Twitch and Discord servers, and we're members of the Peach Belt Conference, so that we have joined one of the largest entertainment segments in the world, but also one of the fastest growing competitive sports among universities. We've started with new facilities. I mean, we've cut the ribbon on a brand new Richards College of Business building. We have launched the Momentum Center, so students no longer have to wander around campus trying to figure out where to solve their problem. It's one place, and we take the burden of your problem and put it on us while you sit in a comfortable seat and have a bottle of water, so that the only thing that's hard about going to college is what you do in the classroom. We just opened up the north wing of UWG Noonan with a new renovation. Humanities is under a massive renovation, and that's going to be one of the most advanced buildings around. Yeah. It's going to be amazing when we're done. We've hit record-breaking years of fundraising over the last few years. Most recently, the President's Black Tie Gala, which we hosted 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you. Well, look at every
It's
dollar.
amazing that you rose that much money. That's absolutely
44% over last year, and almost $250,000. Every single one of those dollars goes into the student experience. And on that front, that's another place where we got better. We stopped having orientation to an onboarding experience that lasted 4 days, and you probably remember that because you're a junior. You remember you came into college and there's 4 days, all kinds of things are happening, and then it's just class. Yep. Well, now we have 6 weeks of welcome in the fall semester and in the spring semester, so that we can make building community one of the most important things that we do. All of that is embedded in the strategic plan.
So our final question for you today is, as this university is growing, And as we center on community, something that's really important to the community is traditions. So what traditions do you believe we are benefiting with right now?
Oh, that's
the university.
Yeah, it's a great question, especially for a university that was founded in 1906. So we've got a lot to draw from. We might have one of the only strategic plans in the United States that actually talks about traditions. And we specifically say, let's make certain that we're advancing and elevating traditions that people want to be a part of. That it's not just a tradition that we have because we've always done it that way, but it's a tradition that we have because in the present, students we're in service to, the alumni we're in service to, the communities we're in service to are excited about it. And I'll give you a couple of examples. One, 6 weeks of welcome on either semester is a great example of one. Two, the type of game day experience that was really rooted in whether you like the particular sport or not, you're going to have a great time at the game. Tailgating is a great example of that. And when I got here, I asked a number of students, I said, hey, so do you all tailgate at football games? And they went, sometimes. I said, well, why not? Well, it's a lot of work, and there's a lot of rules associated with it. You can only tailgate like 2 hours before the game, and you have to stop right when the game starts. Well, I said, well, what if we change all the rules? And they said, you would do that? Went, yeah, change all the rules. So now you don't have any of those rules anymore. You gonna have a tailgating experience? I don't know. And we had a number of students who came to me and said, we would love to do that, but we're part of a student organization that has a lot of stuff, grills and couches, and not everybody has that. And it's not any fun if everybody's not out there.
That's true.
And for me, when they dialed into that, I went, that's the tradition we want to celebrate. So I said, so what do you just want us to set up all of the tents and you just show up and we've done all the work for you? And they went, yeah. I went, great. Then that's going to be the new tradition for the University of West Georgia. And when you go to that experience and the whole community comes together and 2 hours before the game, the team walks through and our national championship cheerleading squad and the band are gathered, and all of these alumni and students just creating a tunnel for people to pass through. There is no greater tradition at a university than the creation of community that people want to be part of. And that is but one symbol that we have created that is emblematic of so many other experiences where we've done that in visual art and theater and music and throughout the School of Communication, Film and Media. There's so many great examples of that, leaning into community as the root of tradition.
Oh, that was beautiful. And I actually do feel the community here. Like, we are truly a family here. But thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it that you took time to come down here and talk with us.
Always my pleasure.
And also, we love your podcast, Off the Cuff. It's amazing.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for watching Campus and Community Conversations. Join us next time as we talk with Mayor of Carrollton, Betty Cason, and Carroll County's Commission Chairman, Michelle Morgan. Have a great day.